Zambia is the second largest copper producer on the African continent, coming after Congo DRC. So the country is looking to diversify its economy away from copper and looking to honey exports. How sweet could that be? Have a taste.
Tons of raw honey used to be so cheap or to brew alcohol in the country, but now it's processed to be unique products and then exported to the rest of the world and has become a driving force for the country to fight against poverty. Meet Pandolaika, owner of the Luano Honey, called this a sticky but sweet business after realizing the opportunity to sell his country's unique product to other countries.
Every hive has a different flavor. Every pound or kg of Zambian tree honey harvested tastes different, just depending on what the bees are eating in that forest area, what's around it, what flowers are grown, stuff like that. So it's very unique in a sense, you know what I'm saying? No honey around the world has that variation. Every packet, every pouch, every jar you see won't taste the same.
Currently, the country's honey production, sitting at 2,000 tons per year, is set to grow to over 10,000 tons because of increased exports, whose value has already jumped from $1.6 million in 2015 to $3.1 million in 2018.
We have been known to be copper producers for centuries. Now we want to diversify and go into other industries. Honey exports can be a key component in the growth of the economy and fight against poverty in Zambia through job and wealth creation.
It can really help people out there where there's nothing. Like where we're getting this honey, there's literally nothing. It's just dense forest, a couple of mud huts, this and that. So that way, it's really, we feel proud in a nation.
More than 30,000 rural beekeepers are expected to propel the industry, which has radically changed their way of life.
Zambia. Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta's bid to remove a ceiling on commercial bank lending was passed in Parliament, potentially boosting the flow of credit to the country's economy. In the amendments to the rate cap legislation, the Parliament yesterday shielded existing loans from higher interest rates once the cap is repealed, which will follow the President signing the changes into law. The Kenyan government and the country's banks have blamed the rate cap imposed in 2016 for curbing private sector lending growth and reducing the effectiveness of the country's monetary policy. Let's go to North Africa, where Morocco is launching a roadshow later this month, the 18th of November to be precise, for an international bond raising $1 billion. According to the finance minister, Mohamed Benchadoun, who announced the bond, which is Morocco's first in 4 years, says the size, the currency, and the date of issue will be decided later. Let's check in with the stock markets downtown Lagos, where Temple Ashaju, business correspondent, has been shuttling between the trading floor and the venue of that Inferno, the Central Business District on Lagos Island yesterday. Let's mix the two together and get Temple's sense of what is going on at the moment. Temple, it's been a very busy day for you today, and of course yesterday, trying to keep one eye at the Inferno, what happened and the works going on there with the and all of that. Then you're looking at the stock market. Bring us up to speed right now. Let's start with the fire which has been put out. What's the latest on that very quickly?
Well, it's more like it's been totally put out now. We only have a bit of smoke still being emitted from that debris and, of course, the entire rubble from the building. But we still have the firefighters around just in case of any unforeseen circumstances that might, come up from the scene. And so that's the latest. There's basically not much around that particular Inferno anymore at this point in time. And thankfully, we don't have any other fire outbreak from any building today. That incident of yesterday has been able to put a lot of traders and a lot of occupants of those malls that you have on the island here that has been able to put them on their toes, such that they can actually be more proactive now and be more preventive of all of these type of incidences.
Yeah, Temple. So let's talk about the trading day so far. What's some of the numbers ahead of the closing bell?
Well, the market has a bit of a decline at this point, some 0.15% decline in the key benchmark indices. We've seen some profits taken on the banking names that have actually enjoyed some huge demands in recent times. We've seen patronage on a lot of these companies lately, and so that offers opportunity for some investors to sell down their stake or basically just reduce their holdings in these companies. Guaranty Trust Bank is about the only bank at this point that is recording some gains at 26 Naira plus. But if you look at the likes of Zenith Bank and of course FBN Holdings, and a few other stocks, Access Bank, they've experienced some reduction in the holdings by some of these investors in the market. FBN Holdings reduced from 5 Naira 50 kobo to 5 Naira 45 kobo this afternoon, and that's a company that had actually been trading at some 5 Naira 25, 5 Naira 30 kobo for a while. As of Monday, we saw it moved up to 5 Naira 70 kobo and then reduced to 5 Naira 50 kobo yesterday. So it's an opportunity for some investors to take profits across counters at this point. That's the sentiment we've gotten in the market so far, Bosin.
Temple is going to be a little bit interesting for you tomorrow when you have the Osun State Governor do an investment in Osun State, right. Facts behind the figures. He will be one on the trading floor, talk about all of that. This is coming after the Ekiti State Governor did a similar presentation to the market just about a month ago. Exactly. So it's going to be a very busy day for you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Hold on all your salvo. We have a lot to talk about that tomorrow. Let's leave that for now. Thank you, Temple Ashaju from the studios at the Stock Exchange. Let's talk about from water to fire. That's all it's all about. But again, one big story we'll try to finish off with is South Africa. Trying to benefit in terms of the China export. What is the authorities doing there in terms of the Cities Convention Center? Let's have this report coming through for you.
The Import Expo in East China's Shanghai municipality will help benefit trade and employment in South Africa. One exhibitor from the Rainbow Nation, that's South Africa, believes the Import Expo in East China's Shanghai municipality will help benefit trade and employment in South Africa. Philip Krause, general manager of the Willow Creek Olive Estate just outside of Cape Town, says the China International Import Expo will provide huge business opportunities for South Africa's olive industry.
If only 1% of the 1.4 billion population in China is interested in our product, then that's already a big part for us. And from there we can grow into other Asian markets, which will all help to increase growth within those countries and within South Africa itself.
Krause believes the 6-day expo, which began on Tuesday, will provide a platform for China and South Africa to enhance cooperation and boost their import and export trade.
I believe trade between China and South Africa is mutually beneficial to both countries, especially in South Africa where we have a very high unemployment rate. So if we can grow the olive oil market, then we can help socially to bring in more farmers from maybe previously disadvantaged areas that can grow the olive oil and the olive market, which will only happen if we can increase the export market.
He says there are vast opportunities to expand exports at the expo, which is good news for South Africa's employment environment.
That's about all for today on Business Incorporated. I am Bosin Omofoye. I'll see you next time. Goodbye from Lagos.